Hello, my name is Julie Chater and I'm excited to announce that in collaboration with Phoebe Kitto, Director of HR Dynamics in Cairns and the Douglas Chamber of Commerce, I will be presenting the Effortless Leadership Program in Port Douglas in early November. This is not your usual type of leadership program. It is more about how you can become cool, calm and creative regardless of circumstances. Yes, you can say goodbye to stress. You can be far more resilient and even more productive than you are today. Whether you're a business owner, a CEO, you manage teams, you're a sales manager or account manager, this program is for you because it's about self-leadership. It will not only help you with the people you interact at work, your employees or colleagues, it would also help you with your clients and customers. Yes, there's something here for all of you. The program starts with an intake call with me. This is to help find out what you would like to gain from participating in the program. The 2-day retreat will be held in Port Douglas. And rather than the usual leadership type of program with lots of case studies and role-playing and exercises and all of those sorts of things, we will be exploring what it means to be a leader in today's environment. We will look at things like a new paradigm for leadership, the art of listening rather than listening skills, and the power of insight. And it's not just the 2 days you'll be having with me. You will also have 4 one-on-one coaching sessions over the 2 to 3 months after the workshop. This will be held on Zoom, which is similar to Skype, and it also means that you can be anywhere with your travels and commitments and we can still connect. And it is your personal journey as a leader. And this really puts the whole program together with huge value. Here are 3 leaders to talk about their experience of the Effortless Leadership Program. Richard's first, and is an entrepreneur with multiple businesses and lots of challenges. Ben is a managing director of New Zealand's foremost textile company with offices in Australia and New Zealand. And the third person is Stephanie, who is the design director for James Dunlop Morecambe, and she's based in Sydney.
It's interesting because in the scope of what I do, I deal with everyone from probably contractors and tradespeople right through to CEOs, bankers and so forth. And it's quite important, and I suppose this is an obvious statement, it's quite important to communicate effectively to everyone you're working with. And part of communication is listening. And I think that what I've managed to achieve, in particular from the Effortless Leadership attending the program, is really to gain a deeper understanding of how I work, how I think, and how I respond to situations. And that's really enabled me to lift myself to another level in terms of being able to interact with people. We've all been to courses. We've all done the thing, you get fizzed up, ready to roll, got a list or something you're trying to prototype or do when you leave the course, and of course then you walk back into your office and it all starts all again, and it's very difficult to maintain traction. What the coaching sessions afterwards, with Jilly in particular, sitting down with Jilly afterwards and being challenged by her in the context of what we discussed, in particular in the meeting and the course, because the course is quite interactive. So it's not a classroom environment where you sit there and write notes and so on. You're there to master, master yourself. In fact, you're not even mastering any techniques, you're just becoming the master of yourself. And when Jilly comes in a week or 2 or 3 or 4 weeks later, it's a deft reminder of those interactions you had on those 2 days where you really shut everything else out of your life and you're saying, right, really, how do I function? What the Effortless Leadership process to me was all about dealing with me as a tool. So in other words, I'm not buying something or being taught something that I then grab and use. It's a matter of almost restructuring how I fundamentally work. And the Effortless Leadership course was really about how I fundamentally think, how I fundamentally operate. And I've never been challenged in that way before. And because it's internalised, it's not an exercise book, it's not a checklist. And then, of course, when Jilly, you come along with your follow-up, and what that does is it disturbs the whole process again, and it reactivates it, and it's almost like transforming and being back during those 2 days, back to the interactions we had with you one-on-one. And so this combination of going back to very bare fundamentals of how we actually think and how we operate, and being able to deal with that in a different way, and then reminded of that by Jilly in the coaching sessions, that really starts to unlock a lot of power. So if you try and tell somebody about this, the going to the course and participating, it's very difficult. But if you say to them, well, do you think I'm different? And they go, yes. Have you put your finger on it? And they go, well, not quite yet. Well, I said, well, go to the course and you'll find out.
Effortless leadership, Jilly Chater. Jilly has been coaching our organisation for 3 or 4 years with very significant success, and it started with I was on the first course with 4 or 5 colleagues, and over the course of 2 days we traversed across a number of subjects, and the meaningful points were numerous, but some of the highlights for me were, I tend to work at a reasonably rapid clip, and I appreciate now that the first day was to actually slow everybody down to a point they could learn, think, reflect, and really consider how they spend their time. Not only the time on their own endeavours, but those around them, their colleagues. So we touched on and then went in depth around the effect of one's shadow, not to be underestimated. It's very easy to pick up a team or absolutely flatten them, purely on the way you approach the day. First day, midday, typically me, I go zipping off and look at a motor car because I've got 20 minutes spare and I can squeeze in a test drive. And Jilly was smiling when I got back and thinking, you haven't quite got it yet, have you? You're here to listen, learn and think and not get distracted on other points. In other words, operate in the now. Be present. By day 2, I was starting to get the hang of it. And I won't get too specific about the rest of the day because everybody picks up different things. But for me, it's been the subsequent 36 months have been really worthwhile because I keep reflecting back on the course we did, and more particularly the coaching sessions afterwards. The one-on-one coaching really reinforces the learnings of the 2-day course.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I've been asked to give you some feedback on the time I've spent with Jilly Chater. I did a 2-day workshop with her and then followed it on with the subsequent coaching sessions, and I got so much out of it I actually asked my director to continue for another 6 more sessions because I found it really beneficial. I'm the design director at a textile company, and I also sit within the management team, so for me it was really helpful for me to improve my relationships and listening skills and communication with not only the leaders in the business but also with my own team and in my personal life as well. So I found it highly beneficial, and it's really ongoing. It's about changing the way you think about things and respond to things, and I've just got so much out of it. It's helped me also as a designer, listening openly within the marketplace and more clearly, I hope, to the feedback we get, and learning to deal with stress, which is such a big part, unfortunately, often of our world, and it can be so easily improved upon just about looking at things from a different perspective and understanding how we interpret feedback and we react to situations is really what's creating that sense of stress. So I really encourage you to do her courses, and the coaching program I think is essential as a follow-up to the courses, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
I hope you've got some value out of listening to all 3 of these leaders. This is not going to be a huge conference. We are limiting spaces because we want to make sure that you gain the most value from the 2 days together. and you will also learn from each other as well as what I provide for you. So if you need more information, it's going to be up here on the screen, and you can contact either Phoebe and or myself, and we look forward to seeing you in Port Douglas in November. Thank you.